County, they still go by.
We're on the internet.
We can tax our way to wealth.
Sure we can.
Absolutely.
We can borrow our way
We
out of
can
debt.
borrow our way out of debt, and we can tax our way into wealth. Hey, folks.
Kinda like that fella said, boy, he come from some other country. And he said, boy, it sure is great to be American. Said, I've been here for only a year, and said, I already in debt for $1 million.
Did you,
Said, I
did
don't
you
believe
see
it.
that debate between Bill Ayers and Dinesh D'Souza?
I don't know, I saw
News
something
yesterday.
Yeah, I
Did you
saw
see
part of
that?
it.
No, but I heard about it.
Is
I mean,
it-
I heard he was gonna be. How'd it work out?
Bill Ayers ate him alive. Ate him for lunch.
Bill Ayers?
The radical that got Obama started.
And how'd he do that?
Ate him alive with facts. Fact after fact after fact. He supported his thesis a lot better than Dinesh D'Souza.
I heard part of it.
Where was it at?
Did you get that impression? Now, I don't
Well,
like Bill Ayers, and I do not believe in Bill Ayers' philosophy at all. But I thought Dinesh D'Souza, with all the research he's done, would eat him alive. But boy, he just went backwards.
The part that kind of struck me to a certain extent, and I'm not sure I comprehended what he was saying, but it seemed to me like in one of the questions, the guy asked him something about would he do this or that or something, and he basically asked him would he bow down and whatever, something about it boiled down to was he willing to fight for what he believed in, is what it boiled down to. And it's very few people that you see, whether they're right or wrong, that are willing to fight for what they believe in.
Now run.
Now, Bill Ayers did tell a lie or two. He said, oh, I've never caused anybody's death.
You didn't expect him to, the statutes go a long ways on that.
I got it over
He
everything.
called him on it, he got up and shot a lot of people.
They,
He was on Megan Kelly the other night, and she didn't cut him a whole lot of slack.
That's the part I saw, that was.
well, she did a better job against him than Dinesh D'Souza. Oh, Dinesh, you'd think all the research he's done on America would be able to support.
Busy sweating that jail term.
Trying not to offend the FBI.
Yeah.
I just can't believe people like Bernadine Dorn and,
Now, if we won't get sued, this jury kid about it.
Davis, Angela Davis, and all them people are walking scot-free and ain't served any time.
And they denied doing anything, if somebody else done the bad part.
What tickled me was reading about those Black Panthers. And that guy that run the Black Panthers would rape male members of his group, you know, the inside group of the Black Panthers. I mean, just viciously rape. They'd have to have surgery afterwards to surgically repair the damage he'd done. I mean, it's just, these people are crazy. Crazy.
Heard that part.
Sue me, Black Panthers.
Living on sponge cake.
Did you have a nice fireworks show?
Yeah. We had the best seats we've ever had.
Did you?
Had a flat rock down there, the water wasn't no way up, had a flat rock, went down there and set up on it. They lit the fireworks.
They lit them and run.
No,
Do they still light fireworks?
well, they set them off.
I
The
know.
problem was, they made lights. The problem was, we had the best seats in the house and the worst view we ever had. Because it had a temperature inversion, the smoke didn't leave, and all you could see was these fireworks that went off in this cloud of smoke.
Ooh,
There's a little flash up there in the smoke.
no wind.
No wind. It was
They
absolutely the
made a
worst.
big racket down the pilot
I
last
mean, there wasn't
night.
nothing they do about it. It was the worst show I ever saw, and we had the best seats we ever had.
Blaming on climate change.
That's it.
That's climate change. is what it
Global
is.
warming,
Yeah,
it's
global
got
warming.
global warming.
Yeah.
Too many geniuses in this crowd.
I
Yeah,
didn't
but
go
they
out,
all
I
outside.
didn't even go outside to see the fireworks. I've seen so many, it don't bother me anymore.
Ever since I saw that in there behind them, my
That was a
office,
grand
I ain't want
finale,
to be
wasn't
too
it?
close now.
Right.
You reckon they could reproduce that and send them containers up there with airplanes fly?
I was teasing a lady the other day about, did you buy refills? You know, fireworks at these firework places, you know, you can buy refills for about a third of what you pay for the new ones. And they're just as pretty. She said, really? I said, and sometimes you can buy refills to go in them at your home. You know, you fire them in, refill.
Tell them who we are.
Make sure they ain't any sparking. Hey, this is Wild Bob and
See if
Ron's
that
show.
works.
Folks,
They both work today.
hey, wonderful.
Well, we stepping up, got two mics.
If you want to call the Wild Bob and Ron show, it's
Call us anything you want to.
562-3557 or 566-1450. And speak to one of the three geniuses, Ron Sharp, R.L. Henson, Robert Andrews,
Bob,
all of Bob Andrews.
Bobby.
All of them are
Bobby
graduates of
Talbot.
the University of Tennessee, Cumberland College, and University of North Carolina. Highly educated, and men who were not
Graduated from
educated.
the College of Hard Knocks.
Did not have their common sense taken away from them in 4 years of college education.
It's unusual though. Education has ruined more good people than you can imagine. I want to say one thing, you know, well, I'm probably going to say something else too, but
Well, only one.
I made my first sale to Rocky Top today.
Wonderful. That's,
People came from Rocky Top.
that's
said,
headline.
"Can you deliver to Rocky Top?"
Lake
I said, "Well, I
City.
don't know." I said, "Is that any further than Lake City?"
Lake City changed their name to Rocky Top without the University of Tennessee charging them a commission for it.
Right, yeah.
I noticed that, in the obituary the other day listed somebody from Rocky Top. Kinda jumped out at me. I wasn't expecting that. I guess that's right.
What was the original name?
Coal
Coal
Creek.
Town.
Coal
Coal Creek?
Coal.
Coal Creek.
Coal Creek.
I think Coal Creek fits better
Right.
Well,
than
that's where
Lake
the money
City
was
or
at.
Rocky Top.
The money was up the creek in the coal mines back in them days, and then they when Lake City come along, when North Lake come along, they'd already chased out the oil, the coal people. And, they'd unionized them to the point where they couldn't make any money anymore. And coal business had changed too.
That
So
was
they-
during the era of John L. Lewis.
Yeah, they jumped on the wagon there. They decided they was gonna get rich off all that tourism coming in. Kinda like that same wagon they may have rode on this time, you can't tell.
Right.
I hope it works out, I really do, but I've seen them, 2 or 3 of these pie in the sky outfits before. We had one up on the mountain, you know.
You know,
Where I call Rarity
Yeah,
Mountain.
it's rare.
you know,
Hey, we got a
Villages.
$12 million exit to nowhere out
You
of
ever
it.
heard of the villages where they flew people around in helicopters and showed them all the beauty and showed them a lot?
Is
right.
that a Potemkin village?
Well, yeah, it's made money too. They didn't have the false front, so,
And that's why a rose by any other name is still a rose.
yeah.
So, I guess the city by any other name is still the same city.
Has anyone seen the plans or anything other than just the name, anything?
Well, I've heard plans, but I've not seen any artwork, but I also have not seen any money, but I guess they wouldn't have seen it to me anyway.
Right.
Has anybody ever heard any names as to who's associated?
Well,
That was
I
top
can let
secret.
all that stuff out, don't want people sending them junk mail.
Yeah,
So
Well,
let's
I
face-
understand that whole downtown area there where you go around the block,
Yeah,
ball field, I guess,
yeah,
is gonna be turned into a humongous water park.
I've heard that.
But I haven't seen any,
It's gonna be a
Pumps.
competition, there's swimming pool, ain't
they
it?
ain't put any pumps in yet.
And now if they
Our-
spend, they spend as much money per gallon that they're going to, play with as they did on the splash park down here, it's gonna be a
Yeah,
humongous investment.
we got 5 lawn sprinklers for,
$119,000.
yeah. Can you imagine what a water park will cost?
Well, if you got Cliff and David Young and Bob Fannin handling it, it'll cost a pretty penny.
Would somebody tell the city that they're broke? I mean, whether they believe it or not, they really are. they're spending out of reserves, but mostly, somebody needs to tell them people down in Jacksboro they're broke. I mean, they're still ordering more sand for the,
It's called Keynesian economics, Ronnie. You're not supposed to have money. You just spend and borrow.
they can't print it though, they
You know,
just send us
they believe they
the
can,
bill.
they believe they can borrow themselves out of debt, and they believe they can spend themselves into wealth.
Let me ask you fellas, and give me an honest answer now, I'm not trying to joke, I'm serious. If
For
you-
one time.
Yeah, if you found the money, if you hired yourself a money manager, and he managed your money the way these local politicians manage our money, don't you honestly think that he could have them thrown in jail?
For embezzling and corruption,
Mismanagement.
mismanagement, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
Well, you take out their park, you can't do anything right, you know, if you're gonna have a sunbathing area there, a sandy sunbathing peak, you've got to have some, something that sets it off. You gotta have a wall or something there to keep it back up here, you know.
Now, you're talking about the money hole part,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If not, what they're doing, they dumping it down there and the weeds are growing up through it and everything else. It looks like something that, I don't even want to tell you what it really looks like, you know.
But Bob, we got a baseball stadium down there now that'll rival New York Yankees.
Oh, I know that,
Well, they
yeah.
brought 4 or 5 more loads of sand in, what does a load of sand cost, Mr. Henson?
Yeah, you talking about a big truckload?
I'd say there's at least 20 tons.
20 ton?
I'm guessing, I don't know how much sand.
Retail it's running about $40 a ton, so I guess if they're gonna have at least $30 in it, well, I'll take that back. Yeah, you will, because I believe the counties are hauling it, but still yet.
Well, they gotta maintain
That's what I'm
trucks, they
saying, still
drive.
yet, the cost is gonna cost them at least that much.
Where they hauling it from,
I'd say from Crossville.
huh?
From Crossville, I'd say.
So they're paying
That's
the
100
mill.
miles, and 100 miles across.
Not one way, I'd say it's about 50, 60, 70. I don't know how far it is, it's
More
quite a
than
bit,
that.
yeah, I guess it is.
It's more than 20 miles from Knoxville to Crossville.
You take a shortcut, it's
It's
still an
a
hour.
good distance. Let's
It's still
put it that way.
115 minutes to Crossville.
Yeah.
If you take the shortcut through Rocky Top and Harriman.
Wait a minute, now that's
Shortcut.
2 and a note, and a 3 and a note, and drop your note, and 2 notes is note, and 2, 3, that's $600 at least,
A load.
Pretty close.
a load. So they put at least $2,400, I don't know, they spread some before I got to see, but if they've got at least $2,400 they spent this week on sand, I don't do that.
But we
when I
got a
roll.
beach that'll rival Panama City, Florida, or Fort Lauderdale, Florida. What we ought to do is have spring break here next
Well, I'll tell
year.
you what, if you do, if you go out there and start you one, and start pouring sand in the lake, the EPA will come find
Get
you.
you.
Well, the TVA will.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to displace the water in the TVA. It's like putting in a boat launch or anything like it. It has to be approved. And when you start, there used to be some sort of thing, I don't know what it was, that you could take it out. If you're gonna put something in, you have to take something out, or something like that. I can't remember what it was. It's been so long ago.
Well, the original idea for buying up all that land around North Lake, it was the first lake, and they bought all that land up because they had the idea that they had to control all the runoff or it'd fill the lake up.
I got what you're saying, from erosion or whatever, right?
Well, you know, the way they've done that out there, back before we started having politically correct ways of saying things, we had a name for what they've done out there, and it looks pretty shoddy.
You know, when TVA bought up all that land, we didn't have kudzu.
No, they brought it to us.
That came in after World War II,
You know that kudzu
about
down,
10 years before North Slave,
you know that kudzu down there on the
or 10 years after North
quarry where they're gonna build the convention center?
Slave. Yeah,
My daddy helped plant that.
that
They
kudzu.
didn't shoot him either. I mean, they paid him to do it, but that's,
You know, if you plant kudzu, you better run. I mean, you put that seed in the ground, stomp it one time and run.
Cause it'll catch you, huh?
It'll catch you. I've
it'll go
seen
under the house
firemen,
or over the house.
you know,
after you too.
houses catch on fire, and I've seen firemen that wouldn't go in the house because kudzu had covered the whole place.
Yeah.
I ain't going in there.
Well, now, if we
Oh,
don't
and there
have
you go.
rod everything under it,
Well, the only thing that you have to fear from cuts is them little stick bugs.
Oh, I got plenty of them.
Yeah,
I don't know where the kudzu is. Probably City Hall or something.
Has anybody heard anything different from any of the people that are running from office? You know, I hear the standard number 1 and the standard number 2 pitch. They've all got
them
this.
numbers right.
The only
there,
ones,
number two.
you know, they
I
got the-
heard that made any sense was Scotty Kitts and Tip Jones.
What comment did they make?
And if Tip had to spend all his time trying to kiss up to Boomer, he would have made a lot more sense. But they're old buddies from way back.
Share it with us. What did he say?
Well, he just said, you know, me and Boomer, we go way back. You know,
Yeah, okay.
way back when this county was run the way it ought to be run, you know. And I remember Boomer's articles.
I don't know exactly when that was that the county was.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
When Scotty Kitts makes more sense than anybody on the entire panel of the 1st and 2nd district commissioners and school board
Let me tell
and
you,
county mayors.
he's the only one thinks he's different than this pack.
Hey,
It's all wrote down, they just read it off. I'm gonna be for this today, I'm gonna be for
But
jobs and schools and kids.
Mark Wells
Is that
made
the
it very
standard number
clear.
2? Is that the standard number 2 pitch? Schools and jobs?
Well, it starts off with kids or schools and it starts with jobs.
Jobs, okay.
It starts with
Right.
jobs and then it's schools or kids and then it's kids or schools.
Well, these people are quoting out, how many jobs have they created on their own?
None. But
I don't know anybody running for mayor that,
Well, I
Fred
mean-
Cole maybe.
Yeah, Fred, but yeah, you take a look, what do we got, somewhere around 100 people running for office?
I don't know, there's too many.
and Fred Cole's the only one out of the whole bunch that's ever created a job.
Well,
I tell you, I
It's,
talked to Fred the other day and he made a whole lot of sense. That's bad when a Yankee comes in here and makes more
Now-
sense than a good old hillbilly.
Now, Mark Wells
Yeah.
made it real clear that he is the #1 expert in finance in Campbell County, and that he needed to be elected to that
What
county
does he
commission.
do for a living?
I don't know,
What does he do for a living?
Somebody told me he worked at the bank, I don't know.
I heard he used to be employed by a bank and maybe employed by another one, I'm not sure. But,
I don't
he's
know
the #1 expert on finance in our county, and we need him to lead us through this tax increase. That's his word.
what do you mean lead us through it? I'd like somebody to explain to me, what does that mean?
Well,
lead us
he
through it?
says, we need at least a nickel to offset the coal tax severance, or coal severance tax.
How
whatever
much
it's
did they lose on that?
Well, I think it comes to something like 180,000,
176, I believe.
176,000.
Okay.
You could save that,
They
but
can say that, 6 years of that, but not building money old parks.
Right.
And that ain't counting the maintenance and ongoing expenses.
and we don't need a parks director for that one money hole park. We don't need 20 employees in a finance office. We don't need an ambulance service that costs $2 million a year and loses $1 million a year. So the taxpayers have to prop it up $1 million a year.
Also, you have more law enforcement officers per population than anywhere else in the United States. You can stop a little old lady for speeding going down Jack Fur Pike, and there'd be 4 or 5 officers there before the dust settles.
Bob, let me tell you something about that, to back that up. In 1956, I found a photograph of the entire La Follette Police Department. On the bottom it said, full force,
Yeah.
4 men in 1 car. Now, population
My directed traffic for 'em.
Population in 1956 was 6,000. Today it's 7,300. We have 22 full-time and 4 part-time cops. Now what do we need with 18 full-time and 4 part-time to police 1,300 more people?
Well, that's not only true here, and it's very true in the Folly, but also in the sheriff's department. You got them running all over the country. I mean, you can't drive anywhere where you don't run into a law enforcement officer.
True. And
Oh, Yeah, we got an official ballot here at the Campbell County election held on August 7th, 2014. Looks like everybody's running. I'm gonna try to count them here, let's see.
Good. I don't believe I can count that high.
Hey,
I believe we
believe
went that
about
With
high.
all these college educated people, ain't no way we'll get that number right.
Now, folks, if you'll take this ballot that I just received for, the national election, I guess, the US Senate, and for, Campbell County, and where it says write-in, if you'll put Bob Andrews in there, we'll straighten everything out.
There's over 150 of them.
I need to be put in as governor, United States Senator, and a representative in the House of Representatives. I need to be put in all of them.
How about ambassador to the UN?
I think you got 22 or 23 retention questions on there for, state judges.
Well, them people running, ain't they?
Well, they're running for real, it's either to retain or replace.
Yeah.
Now, if they are voted out, if they get more replace votes than they do retention or retain votes, then the governor appoints a replacement.
Okay.
But if they get more retain or votes, they get to stay in for another 8 years. Now they're wanting to put a constitutional amendment to the Tennessee Constitution on the November ballot, which will change the methodology of this retain and replace.
That'll mean they will be voted on, correct?
But I could've got that constable, they didn't got
They
nobody
might,
else.
they might let you vote on it, but there's no guarantee of that. These judges don't like having to go through this, and judges have a lot of influence with state politics.
Have you seen any of the politicians going on the talk shows for the county commissioners? Like, I know Cliff Jennings went on one time, I believe.
He learned his lesson. Yeah, you called him. That was the end of him getting on television.
I'd like to see Dave.
Bob Fannin came in the next week, tried to salvage what you done, the damage you done. And you destroyed Bob.
Oh, Bob, okay. But anyhow, I'd like to see David Young come on for a while and take a few questions. Not them softball questions, straight
Oh,
questions.
David Young is convinced on the show they had, the meeting, I think it was sponsored by the Appellate Press, WLF, and
Right.
maybe another media outlet or two. But David Young is convinced he's gonna win. And he said, when I'm in there, and I'm also your assistant county mayor, see, so he's convinced that
That
William
Beard is
Beard
gonna be
is gonna
reelected.
win, gonna be reelected.
Mhm.
Everybody's independent here.
Hey,
Really?
Yeah.
are y'all familiar
Really?
with our Lincoln Lincoln Day dinner?
Yeah,
It's gonna be next week.
right.
Now, Reagan's birthday is in February, and so is Abraham Lincoln's. And this thing used to be in February. Now they're having it in July, right before the early voting begins, 6 days before early voting begins. They have doubled the price on all the tickets and
I
tables.
noticed that.
And this is money and advertisement to help William Beard and establishment Republicans in Campbell County retain their power.
And also to pay, Huckabee.
And to pay, y'all, Mike Huckabee's
Yeah.
coming, so if you go, be sure and, take a fire extinguisher.
Right.
You know, when he left the governorship of Arkansas, the warehouse of his records burned up in Little
Is that
Rock.
right?
Just like they did when Bill Clinton and Hillary left.
Yeah.
So every time Arkansas has a governor and they leave office to run for president, a warehouse of their records burns down.
Gentlemen, I don't believe that there's going to be anything changed very much. We may change a few commissioners, but as far as the way the county is run, it is not going to change, in my opinion.
I don't see a big change with E.L. Morton, do you?
Well, I don't,
But I have my doubts whether he can pull it out or not.
I was selling a lot of store by Elmore, and I thought we had something right there, but if,
Maybe if we're gonna build that water park down at Lakeside, down at Rocky Top, we're gonna have to fool that swimming pool.
That Olympic
I
size?
know
No,
what you're
we
talking
want that
about.
Olympic size swimming
The,
pool. That bowling alley too, I wanna take up bowling in my 70s.
this, the problem we're having, just like with the county commissioners or anyone in government, is the money they're spending is not money that they've earned. It's money that somebody, let's say, Jerry, I come up here and I say, here's you, $1 million, go spend it. I mean, the way you spend it is gonna be a lot different than if you earned it.
Oh,
You see
definitely.
what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
You're
wouldn't
not
have a
gonna
million-
hire all your relatives if you paid for it, if they're not gonna produce. And this is what we're up against here, and until we change the rules, the way we do things, I read something, they said first thing that they're gonna do is drug test. Drug testing is a little more complicated than people think. You can't just go out here and say, hey, I wanna drug test you.
That's one of E.L.
What
Morton's
they drug test?
platform.
Everybody
It's
in
the
his
drug
office
test.
or whatever else. You can't do that. If you've got to pick people by random, or there's 2 or 3 different things that you can do. But,
Lord, if we drug tested
well,
our government employees
let's-
at LUB and the city hall
let's-
and down in Jacksboro, we wouldn't have any left.
let's change a rule here. Let's say prior to putting your name on this ballot, you have to be drug tested.
That's a good
There
idea.
you go, drug test before you qualify. And if you can't pass a drug test, you don't qualify to run for office.
That's hard to get somebody out once.
But I think,
Well, I mean, that's what I'm trying to say is, if we don't change our rules, but then, let's say you drug test, and you find a guy that's burning one, what do you gotta do then? You can't fire him, you can't get rid of him. Then what you're out so many more hundreds or thousands of dollars, because you gotta keep him on the payroll or whatever.
And
Then-
treat him.
Yeah, then you got to pay to treat him too. So what's the point? Why catch them if they're smoked up? Leave them smoked up. You know, it ain't gonna change
Send
nothing.
them more matches.
And you know,
Let it be like Wendell Bailey,
Well,
take a
I'll tell
extended
you,
vacation and
fellas,
stay home and
we're looking at things in all the wrong manner. It's just like on the drug thing.
Looking for love in all the
Uh,
wrong places.
All right, you take drugs, and I'm a little ticked off right now. I've got a piece of property, rental property, and it was vacant, and went by to check it. They cut the union out of it and the copper out of the house. The drug thieves have, or whatever the thieves have.
they,
But 99% chance are they done it for drugs. Okay? All right, let's look at this drug thing again. Everybody's making a killing off drugs. Our judicial system is living off of it. You name it, everything else. I think if we look at it from an economical point of view, that we legalize everything. And I know everybody's gonna fall off their chair and mess their pants over it, but what's the point? They're gonna use the drugs anyhow. They're already using them. I would be money ahead to buy these fellers some good hot stuff. Let them get as high as they wanna get. And I'd be money ahead if we're talking economics.
If you legalize
Okay.
it, it would be very, very cheap and inexpensive.
Well, yeah, but here's what
well,
I'm
you're
saying.
not talking about legalizing it, you're talking about giving it to them.
Yeah, I'm talking about give it to them.
Because if you just legalize it, they still want to
Yeah.
steal the paper.
Well, see, if you legalize it, that's whenever the government gets involved in it, and they keep getting their money out of it.
Little background music.
Well, let me give you a little illustration of the cost of drug use.
Well, I spent a lot
The
of
other
time.
night, about 1:30, the people came by and wanted to know if they could borrow a jack. They had a flat tire. Well, I wasn't gonna go out because 1:30 at night, it was old guy and old gal, you know, I knew that it wasn't nothing.
You know, there wasn't nothing good gonna come of that.
There wasn't nothing to either one of them. So, I told him where the jack was. I had it under my little, Dodge truck, because I didn't have a tire to go back on the rim. And I said, go ahead and just let the truck down on some block there, and I said, you don't have to jack it back up. I said, I'll do that tomorrow. Well, nobody wanted to know if I had any air. And I told him I didn't, cause I wasn't gonna get out there and hook my compressor up and everything, you know, so evidently.
Let me ask you a question now. What time of the night was this?
Oh, about 1:30 according to.
Okay, you done,
Now,
okay.
anybody out that time of night that's not going to or from a job.
They was
is
going to
up
church,
no
probably.
good, up to no good.
Yeah.
All right, I told them, no, I didn't, because I was not gonna go out there and plug that,
No.
everything. And all right, to make a long story short, when they left there, they took my jack. Okay. When they left there, they took my four-way lug wrench. When they left there, they took a little 2-gallon, gas can that had a gallon of mix that I had for my, weed eater and that sort of thing. And when they left there, they used my jack and my four-way to jack my trailer up and take
Still tired.
take my tire and rim with them, because they rode out of there, and that was the only one that would fit a little S10, that's what they were driving. That's the only hub I had on that thing, because I had to replace the hub that would fit an S10 that had a small General Motors bolt pattern. So they took my spare tire, my lug wrench, my jack.
Well, I just pray they didn't get
and
hurt
my
and
gas
sue
line,
you.
huh?
I pray they didn't get hurt and sue you.
All right, now.
No good deed goes
So,
unpunished.
I got a hold of him, told him I was taking a warrant out for him, so he comes down, swears he didn't get my, spare tire, which I said, you're a lie. I said, you rode out here on my spare tire, the only thing fit your truck. Brought my jack back, he brought a gas can back, that wouldn't even my gas can, about 3 or 4 times worth more than what my gas can was.
They stole
Still
it.
so
Stole
much,
from somewhere else.
They don't even know
Well,
what they have stolen from something. Well, I had to go to I-75 junkyard over there, and I got a rim that was supposed to fit my trailer, and a tire. I come back, the tire's no good, and the rim won't fit. Okay. I had to go get another one. I wound up to replace that tire on that trailer, and I haven't got my, to replace it, I got somewhere around $55, $60 in that wheel.
Would you have been better off, Bob, to give them guys $20
I would
or
have
$50
been
or
better
$100
off
just to give it to them?
if I had shot them.
Yeah, that's what I
Well,
was
that'd
gonna
have been
say.
cheaper too.
Yeah.
But, now let me expand on that idea. There is a many a person, I'll bet you right now, that's dead due to law because they go out here and they face off with somebody and another guy that don't give a you know what, and the other guy says, well, now if I defend this right here, then if I do him harm, then I've got all the legal system in the world back here looking for me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That'll cause you to hesitate. You know, instead of taking...
Rather than making it legal, and rather than giving him the money, it's better to change the law where you can shoot him.
That's what I'm saying. We need a law change and get some of these politicians out here.
And then hunting season, them rascals.
Okay, let's say right
I think
here.
we ought to have open season on
Okay,
politicians.
what about in the county?
Yeah,
They
yeah, they do.
If they don't do what,
Well, we've got,
Buy a big game stamp, get them higher up.
police officer can't be everywhere. I mean, we got plenty of them and whatever. But these guys, they got this stuff, they'll come in, they'll work it out, they'll see what they're gonna get, they'll come back, they'll get it, they've got them a path picked out, they've got it all worked
You ever
out.
notice how often they build a bank beside of a donut shop?
Now, you lost me there, huh?
Well, you know, free security.
Well,
It
you
comes
got-
to you later.
Okay.
You got people who
I'm
never,
slow, you may have to draw me a picture.
people who never got further than the 8th grade who are accomplished scientists now.
You think this sounds kind of far-fetched? Our government right now is legalizing entering this country illegal. They've legalized it. You can cross the border. If you're underage or even say you're underage, you can cross it. you get legal counsel, and whatever else.
Did you see the lawsuit that EEOC filed, what is that, Equal
Opportunity.
Employment Opportunity
Equal
Committee or something? Commission.
opportunity,
Equal
Employment.
Employment Opportunity Commission.
yeah.
Okay.
They filed a lawsuit against a private firm that it is now discrimination that if you require someone to be able to speak English
Yeah.
to be an employee. Did you see that?
Yeah.
What if you're an English instructor?
Well, how did they ever get these guys fired? I mean, why'd they ever get them, why'd they ever hire them if they couldn't speak English?
Well, now,
Well, they didn't hire them. They spoke English, or I mean, they would not hire someone because they could not speak English.
No, they had one.
All they spoke was Spanish. So the EEOC filed a lawsuit because they wouldn't hire these Spanish-only speaking people
I didn't see that.
because it's discrimination.
I didn't see that, but I saw where they had sued this company because they fired some people who couldn't speak English.
No, they refused to hire people that couldn't speak English. And so EEOC is representing them now against private companies that won't hire them. This country's going crazy, folks.
This idea that I'm putting out here, it sounds far-fetched because of the way we've let ourselves get into this thing. But if we've got a situation like right now, this drug thing, the court system's making a killing off of it. The public defenders, every one of these people have to have a public defender. They can't hire their own attorney. And of course, the DA's gets to prosecute them.
And
The
you
judge-
heard Dred Emperor say that a public defender has never defended anyone in a major case that he has handled. And that's what, over a decade of criminal prosecutions. So the public defender is only there to give the myth
to make the deal.
of legal representation, that no
Okay.
one
it is a myth.
no one goes before a judge without legal representation, and all they do is say, take whatever they offer you.
Right.
And they never defend any person arrested.
That makes sense, because I know a guy that got sent up on a trumped-up charge, and he wasn't a real well-educated guy, but I know as a fact the guy was innocent. And I called his attorney whenever I read in the paper that they had him. I'm not gonna say much, because I don't want people figuring what I'm talking about. But I called the guy's attorney, and I said, I know, I mean, you need to know this, and I told him what I knew. I placed him somewhere else at the time. And that lawyer, advised him to plea bargain, and he only got 2 years.
But the 2 years for something he didn't do.
Yeah.
Even
got
though there
2
was
years
a
for something
witness,
he didn't
even
do.
though there was a witness who put him somewhere else at the time of the crime.
Yeah.
The defender still would not.
That's a little bit indirect, but that's about the way it was.
That's almost
We gotta do
unethical
something.
legal
Yeah,
Yeah,
practice.
we're gonna wind up and say something here that matters.
Here, we're gonna do something first. We're gonna do, this right here.
Well, we've been in business here for 75 years. We have had 40 years experience in ambulance service. We have a Class A ambulance service.
Almost 22 employees.
22 employees that we pay for all on our own.
And how much taxpayer money goes into this operation?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
We do all kinds of ambulance service. We're rated by the state as a Class A service. We can haul any kind of patients. We can go anywhere. We do a lot of non-emergency transports, nursing home, hospitals, doctor's offices. We go anywhere that patients want to go. We appreciate the opportunity to serve each and every one of our patients. Any kind of insurance you have, we're qualified to take it.
If you need medical transport, that's an ambulance, then call a company that does not require taxpayer money. They either please you or they go out of business. Call Vital Care at 562-9370. And if you can't remember that, just call 911 and tell them you want Vital Care. got straight from the horse's mouth, the horse is
Right.
yours. The horse is yours, but he won't talk.
Well, I invited him to come in, he said he would be guilty by association
Well,
if
that's
he,
right.
if he stayed in with us.
We've sprayed.
Fellas, expanding on what, about the drug thing, I heard somewhere the other day that, I believe it's San Diego, or one of the bigger places out in California, is offering free marijuana to people. And I can't understand all the details, but they're gonna furnish it for them.
Well, I wish they'd furnish a lot of stuff so they could, I think they ought to give them all the meth making it takes to blow them up. I'm
If
just
you
doing an
stop,
open field away from everybody.
if you stop to think about this thing, it's getting no better. It gets worse all the time,
What
and
about
everybody's making
is it
money
the
off of it.
mayor of Toronto that,
Yeah,
big cocaine?
Yeah. What's his
And-
name?
said he'd been clean for 2 days.
Another day feeling.
At least he's got a kind of humorous affect about him.
He needs to get on Saturday Night Live where his brother's at.
You know,
Uh-huh.
You remember his brother, don't you?
if,
Well, I don't really believe, and it goes against my grain, that you can get rid of anything that's bad by legalizing it.
Well, it ain't working the way they're doing it.
But our
well,
government,
wait just a
our
minute.
government
You talking about
requires
getting
more.
rid of it? How do you get rid of it? I don't see no way possible to get rid of it.
Starvation,
Well, I'd be saying, the starvation is death or whatever, is that what you're saying?
starvation, these people that are, what are they good for?
Well,
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. If it's so bad for you, it'll eventually kill you, so let them have all they want.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. Society out here, the people out here that's trying to do it right are getting shaft put to them
Well,
everywhere they turn.
I really think that if you don't care more about yourself than to do that, if you want to put that there, if you want to raise it and smoke it, or mix it together and drink it, or eat it, or shoot it, or snort it, I think they ought to let you. I don't want to feed you, I'm not going to pay you a doctor bill, I don't want you around anybody else. You've got that right to go out and kill yourself.
but so many of them, are getting their, drugs from legalized prescription.
Well, you change that law. You don't make them go to doctor, you just hand it to them, and doctors will quit peddling pills.
These,
Get into real medicine.
don't know exactly the amount, but I'll bet that the government or whatever could produce this stuff dirt cheap.
Some of it's made out of dirt.
Well, some of it is, and I know what this is finally seeing the point that you can't beat the system, and that's part of the system. Drugs are part of the system, and we cannot beat it. Drugs is about like the government, so why not just give in and let them have it?
Do you remember, had you ever seen or heard anybody that had seen any marijuana when you were in high school?
No, not that I know of.
Well, I hadn't either. How about you, Jerry?
No,
What about you, Bob?
In high school,
Yeah?
now we
I'd heard of
didn't
it.
drink in our high
Did
school.
this not start coming out of Vietnam?
I heard of it.
Anyway, well, I'd heard of it, but it happened in San Francisco or Los Angeles or New York City or Chicago.
When the hippie movement started in the
But
'60s.
what have we done? We've outlawed and passed more laws and done more law enforcement, and it's got worse all the time.
Exactly, and every time our government declares war on anything, whether it be drugs, terrorism,
Poverty,
Yeah.
poverty, we get more,
Ignorance, they declared war on
Ignorant.
uneducated and
we get more regulation, more taxation, more spending, more borrowing, more debt,
And more government employees.
and more government employees.
The only good thing ever come out of Prohibition is Elliot Ness got his own television show. I mean, think about it.
Well, it made some great men out of people like Al Capone and Frank Nitti and,
Kennedy's.
Yeah, yeah.
Kennedy's
Joe
got
Kennedy.
Yeah.
And
Some
them
great
Canadian
people.
men, people.
Yeah, ruined them when they legalized it.
Put us out of business.
I figured we've rubbed enough feathers. There ought to be somebody calling in. and telling
I'd
us
say
how
we
wrong
might
are.
get shot on
Yeah,
the
we
way
might.
out.
Let me ask another question. I read an article yesterday where the Senator McCain and another senator from Arizona, I believe his name was Jeff Flake, went to visit one of these detention centers. Did you hear about that?
Went to visit what?
One of these holding places where we're holding these,
Okay.
why don't we come up with another word for them? Displaced foreign citizens or something instead of,
We
you know,
really
we
call them detention centers, call them spas.
welcoming centers.
centers,
There's
that's
welcoming
it.
centers is what they are. They went to visit one of these welcoming centers. Now, this is the senator of the state of Arizona. He was denied access. Now,
There was McCain in on that,
yeah,
I know the other guy.
McCain was denied access. McCain
Okay.
and this other guy too. Now, if you can, go ahead, Bob.
Which one did I put? Hello, what about Ronnie?
That didn't work.
Hello?
I don't know, you may have to try
I
to
think you gotta press the line
press
first.
line, press one, if that don't work, press two.
What about Ronnie?
Press two then.
What about Ronnie?
I don't think you're working.
Let me look this way.
We're gonna have,
You know, the LED on it ain't
the
even on.
lights are not even
It
coming
ain't
on.
plugged in. He ain't even calling up. We
Hold
can't
on, we'll
answer
plug the phone up.
It is plugged in, isn't that it?
Is it wired in,
Gotta be
plugged
plugged
in?
up or it wouldn't be ringing.
Yeah, well,
Hey, folks, gentlemen, take this. Hey,
hold on, we figure out how to operate the phone. You there? Well, that didn't work either.
huh?
That didn't work either. I think they hung up, this is I picked
Had
up.
the wrong line pushed.
Right, cover that
Well, the
wrong
lights are
number.
not coming on.
But the lights are not coming on.
The line lights are not coming on. It
Yeah,
has to be plugged up or it wouldn't be ringing.
what is it plugged
No.
into?
It's plugged in.
The ring,
It's
Well,
plugged
we
into
call
that,
it.
isn't it?
Call us right and see.
the ring
That's
comes
phone
from
right
its
there.
own.
Is it plugged into that?
That's the phone.
And that's plugged in.
Yeah, we'll figure it out in a minute. All this high-tech world we're in.
Yeah,
Stuff had that vote.
that wire's plugged in.
But anyway, on this senator, if the FEMA can tell a senator that he has no access to a facility in his state, now, what does that tell you about who has the power?
Oh, now, is that FEMA or was that Homeland Security?
May have been either one, I don't know, I
Homeland
believe,
Security.
okay, Homeland Security. If Homeland Security
What do you number?
can deny a senator access,
It ain't working.
that tells you who's got the power.
Well, they definitely
Something's
do.
wrong.
See, they got somewhere around, I forget how many billion rounds of ammunition. Now, what do you think they gonna use it on?
Well, okay, let me show you another thing. Did you see when they took these, whatever they call
What's that,
it?
3557?
Yeah, that's getting a
I know,
ring.
we don't know how to answer it.
Well, we're not, there's something not working anyhow.
This is a comedy show, by the way, we disguise it as political
Hey,
comedy.
folks,
How many years of education is sitting right there?
You know, there was a fella told me back a long time ago, he's on the fire department here locally in Lafayette.
Yeah.
And the mayor come by, now I'm not talking about our current mayor, but another mayor come by and asked him how things is going. He said, well, says, dadgummit, said, we can't get nothing done for the phone ringing. He said, won't you get an unlisted number then?
See if you can figure out how it works.
well, the LED ain't working. Oh, ain't nothing working on the phone.
I'm gonna bring my own phone
Yeah,
again.
you gotta bring your own. But anyhow, if,
Now, those two right there are the phone lines. That one right there's the phone lines.
I'm talking to me now.
Oh, geez, there.
Yeah.
anyhow,
Now,
Line one and two.
anyhow.
well, I give up. Don't call us, we'll call you.
Hey, if you need us, we'll call you.
You got line one and
But-
two.
What I'm the point I'm trying to get at is why would they deny him access?
Cause they can.
Well, no, they already proved they can, but what is the reason? In other words, they had a report that people weren't being treated correctly at these
There's no
welcoming
light or
centers.
nothing comes up.
So they wanted to go in to look, and I've heard a report from one or two places that said that when you walk into these places that you'd almost throw up, said it's unbelievable.
Well, we had that
the
problem
smell
before,
and
didn't have no
everything else.
electricity.
Now, who, is that made up, or do they not want this out? And we're not seeing
I'd say this
any
black
videos
line right here is
from
where the
these
problem
things.
is,
I fixed it.
and this one
I
right
fixed
here.
Boy, we got
You
it.
did.
I moved the plug. I told you didn't have no juice.
It's lights plugged up.
Yeah, now we got,
But,
okay, folks, you can call.
1450 don't work though.
Hey, all right,
562-3557 works.
it
yeah.
went out again, does it only?
Somebody kicked them
No,
off.
it's okay.
Yes,
Well, listen, I gotta do a commercial.
Okay. They've come up with a perfect plan.
Vaughn Digger Wilson. Been here off and on for over 30 years in the same spot. Pumping propane, doing repairs on containers, heaters. I'm the only one in the county that'll do you a repair on your tanks if you need it. I sell propane gas, liquid propane, and I've got plenty of competitors, and I can easily compete with them. That's grills, backup heat, substitute heat, grills, campers, motor homes, you name it, and if it's comes in through that door, I can take care of it. I'm here Tuesday through Friday, 8 till 5, and Saturday 8 till 12. They could call me at 562-5444.
5444.
Right.
Folks, I don't know, but I think James
There we
Wordsville
go.
We got a
Kidwell,
call, we can figure out what to do with it.
Push the
James
speaker
Wordsville
button, maybe.
Kidwell would have done real good as 36th representative.
What about Ronnie? What about Ronnie?
I believe you have to push the speaker.
Hey,
I'll tell you what, let them call back and just push the speaker button, Ron.
yeah, just,
Yeah.
Just don't push the line, just push the
Yeah,
speaker.
just give us a call back, Ronnie.
Says you had 14 new calls, Bob.
I did.
There you go, try it. Just push the
562-35.
speaker button. Just a minute.
What about Ronnie?
Hello, I
It
can
works.
hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good, wonderful. I had to turn my set down so that I could talk so I would get feedback. But while I was talking about the train going from Arizona going into that camp or that refugee camp, whatever it's called now. Also, this representative he's a United States representative from Oklahoma, went to the Oklahoma site where they got these illegals housed up. And this Brown Sheridan, the internet report identified him as being Baptist Human Health Service worker that the government has hired, and they put brown shirts on him, and they're standing out there not letting the United States congressman go inside. Why didn't, my question, and I don't know what you all feel about it, but why didn't the congressman have balls enough to just push that brown shirt aside and go on in? That was a federal building, and he's a federal officer. I just wonder why he didn't just go on in. What's wrong with these men?
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
If they would've went on in and had been assaulted or arrested, then this could've been brought, more attention to it. And I agree, but this has to be coming down from the White House. Nobody else would have the authority other than the White House to deny access to, authorized personnel, and a senator has got to be an authorized personnel. If you're looking from a senator, you're not far from being vice president or president. That's our highest representatives.
Well, he was a representative from Oklahoma, in the state of Oklahoma. For God's sake, why didn't he just push that guy aside and say, I represent the people of the United States of America here. Don't give me an appointment to come back. I'm coming in today. If he didn't have a balls enough to do that, he don't need to be in Washington, D.C.
I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah, I do
Sure
too.
And that's all I
Yeah.
have to say about that.
Well, we
You
appreciate
guys
it.
are looking good and sounding good today. Glad you're on the air.
Well, thank you.
We appreciate you.
Bye.
See ya.
There is something going on in these centers that they do not want the general public to know.
They're making all these workers sign, confidentiality
That's right.
agreements.
And they're having to surrender their cell phones before they enter.
They can't take
They can't-
pictures or anything.
That's right. And this,
There's something there, when your own government can no longer be trusted,
But-
we're in trouble.
let me show you another thing right here. On one of those videos, it showed a bus, okay? I believe it had to do with the ones that got turned around. But anyhow, when they got to the other detention center, I saw something I'd never seen before. Down the roadway coming into this thing is chain link fenced, with chain link over the top. You know what I'm saying? It's not just chain link fence, but the whole thing is enclosed. You can't climb out over the top. But when it goes in, they've got gates in front and gate behind the bus. All right, they pull up to this walkway.
They must be raising goats.
Well, that's those
well,
FEMA,
but
that's those FEMA camps. When you say there's no such thing as FEMA camps,
This is a FEMA camp.
or if you say there's a FEMA camp, you're called a conspiracy theorist and a nut job, and, you know.
I think they're raising goats, that's why
Well-
they got a top on it.
Okay, fellas, this situation has just arisen down here on, with less than since January. Well, they knew about it before.
Oh, they
But-
never get prepared
Well,
for it.
let me show you something. These facilities have been built for a pretty good while. They didn't build these just for this situation. But the way this thing was fixed up, it's like cattle in a runway to where they can't get out. They got, whenever you get off that bus, you got a gate in front and behind the bus. You got chain link on both sides and over the top. You go down a walkway that's the same way. It's got chain link over at the top. Now, these things have been built a long time back. So that indicates that they have been making plans to handle large amounts of people. And it's my opinion that it's not just these unwelcome citizens from somewhere else. These things have been built for anybody, which would include us.
This is
Or
not,
your
this is not
unruly
your
citizens.
normal,
Yeah.
this is not your normal immigration system. This is a program that's been designed for years and is now being implemented to bring people into this country, move them into these FEMA camps, and indoctrinate them on which party is getting them here, which party is supporting them, which party will support them forever. You can kiss your Republican Party goodbye, folks.
Well, the way it is, you know, the left, the extreme communists, the extreme left, they've always wanted us
You
to
got a call.
share our wealth.
Wild Bob and Ron Show.
Hey,
Can you believe that they made that big of a turnoff to get into Bojangles, and they never would fix anything to get into KFC the whole time it's been in the fall?
right?
I do know that the dollar store paid for their entry.
Well,
Yeah, but E.L. Morton got credit. Jim Slusher gave E.L. Morton credit for every business that has moved into this county in the last 30 years.
well,
I've been in business over 30 years and I ain't.
That was on the Jerry Chadwell
The
show.
only contact I've ever had with the Chamber of Commerce, they used to want me to
but I
contribute.
tell you one thing, when that Mike Huckabee comes to town, the people that pays $50 to get into a Lincoln Day dinner to hear that man bring the speech has got rocks in their head instead of brains.
$50.
Hey, Mary, tell me something. Why
$50 won't buy a napkin.
have they moved the Lincoln Reagan Day dinner from February to July?
Well, it's my birthday, July the 12th, and they done run it and they brought that to
Well,
the town.
You know, Milton Berle was born in,
Yes, it's money.
July, and so was Bill Cosby. So we should call it the Johnson Burl Cosby
Wasn't
dinner.
it, ain't it $500?
If it's money.
400 for a table.
Well, she said
Maybe it'll.
For $50 for one ticket.
Well, it's about like the Democrats, you know, they have the Jesse Jackson, they down there, Jackson, or they Jackson, and
Well-
William Jefferson, you know, moving on up. They have the
They
Jesse
was-
Jackson and William Jefferson
That's
down
George Jefferson moved
And
on
March
there.
15th is Martin Luther King Day too.
Democrats have Michael Jackson Day dinner too.
Well,
Well, I believe, is,
Friday they'll pay $50 or give it to a politician.
Well, that's to help William Beard with his campaign.
Why?
The whole thing
he
is
ain't
designed-
never gonna be elected
The whole thing
anyway.
is designed by the establishment Republican Party of Campbell County to help William and David Young, who's a diehard Democrat, and their entire clan of
You're not supposed to say clan, you're supposed to say clique.
Well-
And you're gonna have to register and vote and click on all that Derby's courthouse.
I think it's more like one of them-
We'll never do anything in Campbell County.
it's more like one of them church groups. What do they call them? It's not a cult.
I tell
The
you
William
what,
Beard cult. I call it the Jacksboro.
we need.
I call it the Jacksboro. Hey.
In that courthouse. Then if we don't get them out this year, we'll never get them out.
Hey, Mary,
Take up collection
it's the
by-
Jacksboro Mafia.
It's worse than that.
I said, we need to take up collection up there and buy us a phone.
do they call that the Reagan Lincoln?
You need to learn how to,
Lincoln Reagan Day
turn
dinner.
your phones on.
Both of them were born in February. The dinner's
You
supposed
better
to be in
quit
February.
voting straight Republican or straight Democrat and vote for who the best man is for the job.
They ain't no Democrats and Republicans running.
How do you decide which one's the best?
Well, half of us kin to me, so I guess I'll vote for them.
Okay, that makes it the best.
Well,
then.
tell me who to vote for, Mary.
E.L. Morton and Danny Wilson, and that'll get rid of two of them.
Well, who we voting for sure?
I'm not to vote for sheriff, whoever the people elect.
We got another call, all right.
Okay.
Right.
Appreciate
Got
it.
another
Appreciate
call,
you.
Mayor, appreciate you.
Bye.
Hey,
Go a minute too.
Push this one down.
Hey, what about Marty?
Now push speaker.
Hello?
Hey, how are you all?
Doing great, how about you?
I'm doing great.
Go ahead, talk.